Hi everyone, my name is Santiago Cuestas, and this is my final task of my English project. And I wanted to begin this presentation with a quote that really touched me. Vulnerability often feels like weakness, but being vulnerable can be the start of true courage and growth. This was by Brené Brown. And I must confess, when I think about this line, it immediately brings me back to one of the hardest experiences of my entire life. It's short, but of my entire life. The moment my dad had to leave the country for personal and security reasons. At that time, I didn't realize how much my life was about to change. I was still learning what independence and responsibility really meant, and suddenly I was thrown into a situation that demanded completely both of them. I don't know if this happened to you, but I used to see my dad as the one who always had everything under control, and when he left, that sense of safety completely disappeared. I feel small, scared, and unsure of what to do and how to do it. But as time passed, I learned that being vulnerable wasn't weakness at all. It was the beginning of something stronger for me. So, getting into the story, the day everything changed, a sudden loss of safety. I can still remember that day so clearly. My dad set me down and explained me that he need to leave for his safety. For a moment, I just froze, to be honest. I didn't even feel real the situation. And then suddenly, all the emotions hit fear, confusion, sadness, and even anger of the unexpected thing that he was telling me. I was angry at the world for putting us in that situation and terrified because, to be honest, I didn't know how life was going to be without him around. The first weeks were the hardest. I missed his presence so much, not only physically, but emotionally too. And the house obviously felt emptier, quieter, heavier, and I could see how much my mom was struggling to get over this situation. That's when I realized something important. I couldn't just wait for things to get better. I had to act even if I didn't know what to do or how to do it. So, after my dad left, after my dad left, my mom had to take care of almost everything. I started by helping with some small things, like organizing some documents that my dad left, paying some bills, help my brother with the school, and just being there when my mom felt overwhelmed and sad. And at first, I honestly felt completely lost. There were moments when I thought, how am I supposed to handle this, or if even this is my responsibility? But the truth is, you learn by doing, and I made a lot of mistakes. I got frustrated, but I keep trying and trying to understand that some things were my responsibility now. That's when I understood something very powerful. Responsibility isn't something you're born with, or that's what I think. So it's something you build when life gives you no choice but to grow, to make it up. And while preparing this presentation, I came across another quote that really spoke to me. Resilience, it's not a fixed personality trait. It's the strength we can build up to face adversity, and it grows every time we overcome hardship, by Sandberg and Grant. And I think that quote really describes exactly what I went through in that moment, because every small problem I solved and I faced, every thought conversation I had with my brother or with my mom, and every time I comfort my brother or my mom, I was building resilience without even realizing I was doing it. And before this, I used to believe strong people were born that way, but now I know real strength is something we create, we construct. It is a really slow process, but it really changed you from the inside out. And even today, whenever I face something very difficult, I remind myself of that time, because I talk to myself that I already proven I can handle hard things and come out even stronger than I was before of doing those things. And continuing, I call this like finding happiness again, because eventually I realized that happiness hadn't disappeared from my life. It had only changed its form itself. Um, I couldn't control what happened, but I could control how I respond to it. So I started focusing on the present, on my mom's strength, my brothers, and the small moments that still made me life feel full. That's when I remember this quote of Martin Seligman that says, "The secret of happiness it's not in what happened to us, but in how we respond to what happened to us." And that's true. I think happiness doesn't vanish in difficult times. It just hide behind the pain, waiting for us to find it again, to make it up to again. And finally, concluding with this presentation, I think a final reflection. Looking back now, I'm genuinely grateful for what that experience gave me. It didn't just test me at that moment, it transferred me. It showed me that our biggest growth doesn't come from comfort, but from challenge. I didn't just survive a difficult time. I think I really evolved. I became more mature, more empathetic, and more aware of what really matters. And that to me, it's the definition of real strength. In concluding with this presentation, I would like to say this final reflection. Looking back now, I'm genuinely grateful for what that experience gave me. I think it didn't just test me, it transferred me. It showed me that our biggest growth doesn't came from a comfort zone, but it does from a challenge. And I really think I didn't just survive a difficult time. I evolved. I became more mature, more empathetic, and more aware of what really matters, that it's my family and being there for them. And that's to me, it's the real definition of strength. And before finishing, I want to acknowledge the authors whose ideas deeply inspired this presentation and helped me through develop my ideas while I was telling my presentation. So that will be all, and thanks for watching.